I have. The first one is an easy one. How about Steve Kerr and the Warriors? You're going to New Orleans a couple nights ago and nobody plays. Huh? Really? On Monday night? Second time this year. Second time that Golden State played in New Orleans this year. They got blown out in both games and nobody played. No Thompson, no Curry, no Green, nobody. I mean, how about the people who bought the tickets? And I look, both games are sold out. How about the people that bought the tickets and want to see the world champs and one of the great players in the history of the sport, and you don't play them, they're not going to New Orleans again. And you don't play them both times because it's a back-to-back somewhere on the 8th hole and somewhere in Naples. Bird and Jordan are saying, what on the road? Get me to play. That is an absolute joke. That bothered the heck out of me. That's number one.
It should, because here's the deal. Steve Kerr, I love him. He's a phenomenal coach. All of this load management and all of this stuff didn't start with the players. It started with Greg Popovich.
Yes, it did.
Steve Kerr obviously has a very close relationship with him. But to take it a step further, it shows the lack of consideration and sensitivity to fans when you do what they did. All three of them, all three. I mean, come on. There's no excuse.
On the road in the same city for the first 2 weeks of the month of the season.
So Stephen A. co-signs.
Cosign.
I know there's something else you're mad at.
Yeah, that's how but he's going to like this one, too. You know, enough about the U.S. soccer team, all right? Youngest team, or that they're not going to be intimidated by the big stage. What was awful against Detroit. He couldn't move the ball against Miami. You would have thought that the Bears have found the answer at the quarterback. Here's the key about Fields. When the whole stadium knows he has to throw the ball, he has not shown yet that he can do that. Yeah, he's a great runner, but when the whole stadium, big spot, 3rd and 12, back in the huddle, boom, 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 throw the football. He has not shown you that he can do that. So let's take it easy.
We are taking it easy. He's young. He's young. He's shown potential and promise. You look at the Chicago Bears, based on their history of quarterback, they haven't had a star quarterback since Jim McMahon. And damn it, he wasn't really a star for football reasons. He was a star because of the shades of personality and the damn song they were rapping to. We are the Bears, the shuffling crew. Shuffle on down, do it. You remember that corny song that they were doing with Sweetness, Walter Payton, and everybody got rested so with what they were doing? That's why Justin Fields can ball. He has to improve, but he's young. He's showing tremendous promise. He's registering points on the board, and we know they're in rebuilding stages. When you consider what they have available to them, Quinn is gone. Okay, Smith is gone. They traded away big-time names on their squad, particularly defensively, and yet still they're competing. I give credit where credit. If Zach Wilson was doing that, Zach Wilson would still be the starting quarterback for the New York Jets.
Fields is handling himself. But remember, do you know that he has got the lowest completion percentage rate when he's throwing to a receiver? 24%.
Who is the receiver?
Well, any receiver.
I mean, Allen Robinson's gone.
When he's throwing to his targets, he's 24%.
I'm saying they don't have much weapons to work with right now. Give the guy some time.
You guys put him in the Hall of Fame.
But we didn't put him in the Hall of Fame. You take it easy.
Right.
You're going to take it easy on Wilson without him?
Can I ask you one question? Yeah. When you do this list, is it hard for you to whittle it down? Like, are you angry about so many things?
I didn't have as many this week.
Oh, good.
But usually the play calls. I was also going to get on Nick Sirianni. Did you read Nick Sirianni's quotes, the Eagle coach this week?
I saw.
Killing the Colts about, Frank Reich. What a disaster. You know what I feel? They should never let him go. He's my best friend. He's a great coach.
Yeah.
Frank Reich. Did we see what Frank Reich did?
I was just asking if it was difficult. Not
That was personal. It was off of his relationship.
I just want to know.
He wasn't objective there.
I'm just talking to my friends at home. Does anybody think this is normal? Like anybody at all whatsoever? I just want to know. Call me.
It's not whether or not it's normal.
Let me know.
It's whether or not it's entertaining and it works.
That's the key word.
And it does. Okay? Pay attention, Molly.
Move the needle.
Pay attention. Look at it this way.
Gosh.
What other show, Molly, could you show up on wearing a daggone mug sent to you straight from Hollywood?
Okay, coming up. Talking to my friends at home. We have a slate of things.
Dr. Pepper, call on line 888-SAY-ESPN 729-3776. Daniel in West Virginia, who is your sports villain and why?
My sports villain is Bernard Pollard because he was the Patriots killer for 4 different years. He altered some of our star players.
Make contact with 38.
Oh, someone's
where are you right now? Where are you? Are you in? Are you driving?
Pulled over. So
where's he driving to?
No. I'm pulled over. I might be on the clock at work. That might be my radio going off, but they weren't talking to me right now.
Oh, I love it. Calling us on the job. That's what it's about.
That's right. I hope there are kids
Bernard
listening.
Pollard, huh?
Bernard Pollard. School to call us. Oh, no, there's no school today. No school today. All right. Bernard Pollard, yeah, listen, if you got a hard-hitting safety that plays against your team, I could see where they'd be a
I can feel that.
Villain.
This is what I love about it, though. You can tell it's personal, though. Why is he your villain, though? Why?
Well, in 2008, you remember he took out Brady's knee, hit from behind. It's not that it was a totally dirty hit. It was just unfortunate. He hit Ridley in the head on a helmet-to-helmet hit, which was legal at the time and caused him to fumble when we were driving to tie the game in the championship game that we ended up losing. He hurt Gronk's ankle the game before the Super Bowl against the Giants, which we lost that one, and Gronk wasn't full health. And then another year in the playoffs when he was with the Texans, Welker was cutting away from him and ended up tearing his ACL, so we didn't make it to that Super Bowl in that year either.
Yeah, those are some good reasons.
I'm glad I wasn't around him.
By the way, I figured out my sports villain, guys. Listen, I figured out my sports villain. It's very obvious when it was right in front of my face. James Dolan. That's my sports villain.
Right here in your own backyard?
Yep, that's my sports villain.
You can't wait to anytime there's a Knicks subject, you always bring it right back to James Dolan.
By the way, this is my last year of my 40s. I'll be 50 in August, right next August. I have not been alive for a Knicks championship.
You guys are playing great basketball right now.
Oh, yeah.
I'll loan you one, Max.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. We've been talking a lot about the Chiefs, guys, being the class of the AFC, especially over the past few weeks. But also a lot of talk about teams like the Bills to start the season, especially in preseason. The Dolphins as the season's worn on. The Ravens kind of flying under the radar. They were my preseason Super Bowl pick. But along those lines, are we sleeping on the Bengals in the AFC and also staying in the AFC, the Titans, right? So AFC, you think Chiefs, and then preseason Bills, and then since then Dolphins. Ravens get some buzz because Lamar's in the contract year and everything, or didn't sign didn't work out a new deal. They're the Bengals and the Titans. Look at these odds. Buffalo is still plus 200 for some reason.
I just couldn't do nothing but laugh just now.
I know, it's ridiculous. But anyway, I suppose front to back they have a better team, but they don't have Patrick Mahomes. Baltimore's at plus 600. Miami's at plus 850. Cincinnati and Tennessee are the next two, plus 13 and plus 1,400. Of those two teams, Key, I think I know the answer to this because one of them plays in the Keyshawn Johnson, Bill Parcells, old football head style. Which do you like better, the Titans? Who do you have more faith in to make it out of the conference? Titans or Bengals? Titans who run the ball, play defense, or the Bengals with their hot shot, high-flying passing offense, Key? Who do you like more?
I like Tennessee more. I like Vrabel. I like Tennessee. I like 3 yards in a cloud of dust and play defense. I like being able to travel against the Eagles and the Jags and the Chargers and the Texans and the Cowboys and the Jaguars over the next several weeks in the National Football League and taking that style with you. Going to Philadelphia on the road, going to Los Angeles on the road, going to Jacksonville on the road. I like that for them. They gave the Kansas City Chiefs all they could handle earlier in the year with Malik Willis at quarterback. So when you look at that, I'm sitting there saying, okay, they could do some stuff. Whereas the Cincinnati Bengals, I know they got the quarterback with the mink coat and the chain, and he walks in with the glasses, and he's cool as a cucumber, and I get that.
National champion.
But last year was last year. This year is this year. And I understand that they're sitting at 6-4 and they're one game behind the Ravens. But in all honesty, the teams that they've lost to, they lost to them in a way that you sit back and you go, okay, this is not a top-notch team. They allowed certain things to happen to their quarterback, getting sacked a lot. Now all of a sudden Jamar Chase is out of the lineup. They look like a different offense. And I know they beat Pittsburgh last week, but it's a Pittsburgh season. Pittsburgh's not going anywhere. And so I'm not all gung-ho, and I go back to last year. Yes, they made it to the Super Bowl. But if the Raiders would have got the right calls from the referees, I don't necessarily know. And if Ryan Tannehill doesn't decide to give the football away, they don't even get a chance to see Kansas City. And I give them credit for all that, but this year's different.
Jay, I hear what Key is saying, and it's predictable, the running back team. That's Key, or as mentioned, Parcells, a certain style of football brain that's going to just prefer that. Because you're suspicious of the high. Like Bill Parcells was suspicious of San Francisco back in the day when Bill Walsh had, the West Coast offense, the whole thing. I would say this, though. When they get Mixon and Jamar Chase and everybody healthy, it's not that I think the Bengals are the best. It's that they have the ultimate puncher's chance in any game, right? Like, that's the team other than they're kind of like a baby Chiefs. They got like this offense that if they're right is almost impossible to